Ladies and gentlemen, how you all doing? This is Con Ulrich.
And I'm Rangru, hello, hello, hello.
And folks, as always, we want to bring you some more action from Steel Division 2. Today, on Slutsk, I believe, we have ourselves a couple of old hands kind of duking it out. Rang, what are they bringing?
Well, on the left-hand side, in the blue, we have ourselves AmberT, playing as Group Tyrannia, with a balanced income. And on the right-hand side, we have a solo ring Pixy, playing as 21st Panzer, with also a balanced income.
And folks, if you are out there, you know that we just gave that to you an opposite day because the blues on the left and those are the Germans and the
Oh,
reds
god
are the
damn it.
communists, but that's okay.
My rights and left and my left and right. I
Well,
can
just
just never get it right.
it's the Canada thing. So, if you take your hands and you put them in front of you and you flip them around, it's the one that makes the L.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
If
All
I
set.
put both of them up, I get like a year. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, but then there's some other nasty things that we'll kind of avoid for right now. Anyway, Tyrannia. We haven't seen Tyrannia in quite a bit of time, I feel like we've seen the 21st sometimes, and Tyrina every now and again. How does this matchup look?
Well, Group Tyrannia, if I recall, is the one with all the T-34-76 spam.
Mm-hmm.
So, on the more southern area of this map, it's going to be pretty tough against 25th Panzer, or 21st Panzer, just due to the fact that they got Pack 43s and potential King Tigers. But I'm thinking for Solo Ring, maybe it's just going to be more Panzer IV Sherman play, I feel like. But in terms of infantry, I just kind of give it to the Russians. Because you have
Well,
a lot of infantry to play with.
especially when 21st opens up with air sets.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's actually
Yeah.
a little bit better. I mean, you get more per card, but still they're not
Yeah, but
great.
getting 40 turds for the cost of, you can still polish a turd. It's still a turd.
Yeah.
Man, I look at, and I appreciate the fact that we're trying to reflect everything on the Eastern Front, excuse me. But these guys are just so damn bad.
Yeah, they're not as good as they were on SD-44, I find. They were SS trooping are bloody great in SD-44.
Well, especially when they're facing off against things like Stromoviki and Strovsky Komroti, and I
Mm-hmm.
mean, like, even when the officer squads are at least competitive to the Germans, that's when you have a problem.
Yeah.
They are.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Initial rush, though, we have the Russians, of course, with the town, and potentially that town above that northern kind of river as well.
Hmm. Got the classic Jeep Rush. But
Hmm.
no real, like, Okamachiki. It's really just, like, support vehicles, like AT guns and machine guns for the Jeep Rush.
The interesting thing is we have a super early officer being brought on in, getting a lot of three-star material.
Oh,
Looks like
wow.
that could be absolutely devastating.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a, like, condensed area. It definitely owes Strokey Comroti on taking benefit from the officer. And those AT guns go into an open but very, advantageous position on that hillside. So, yeah. And that Pack 38 is just doing God's work shooting down the town right, yeah. Knocking
Yeah.
out tank after tank, or vehicle after vehicle, I should say.
Now, interestingly, using the APCR shells onto those half tracks, maybe not the most effective usage of equipment, but regardless, killing a couple half tracks, you did, yep, like you said, put the fear of God into everything else. And now what really should have been a massive breakout is a far more subdued push.
Yeah, it really stopped AmberT from pushing all the way to where the Panzer Grenadiers are at the moment. So the Outback 38 was in an absolute fantastic spot. But AmberT still has a lot of stuff in this town, especially up north with all those Sturmoviki squads being brought in, and they're going to start moving through. As I said, well, the SS trooping are backed by Sherman tanks, so they might not be in too precarious of a situation.
Now, interestingly, also, we're going to see a pack track with loader being killed immediately. Those M42s going to go and, yep, get a very, very quick kill. So,
Hmm.
ooh, we actually get three machine guns. I'm surprised to see machine guns this early, because there's not really a huge amount of territory really being owned by the Soviets.
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely.
It's a very defensive array for so early in the
Mhm.
game.
Yeah, usually a lot of people prefer taking support guns over machine guns, which I agree, support guns are a little bit more universally better, but machine guns still work. Uh, maybe I don't Yeah, I think you get support guns for Group Tyrannia, but I could be wrong on that, so I'm not gonna die on that hill.
Well, I'll tell you what does die just to the south of the river is that T-34.
Hmm.
However, the same might be said for that M478A, excuse me, 748A, to the west of that northern town. Getting fired on by the M42s. Is one of those already gone down? Good lord.
Hmm. Problem with being in such an exposed position, but at the same time, there's nowhere else to really put him. This map, especially on the northern end, is pretty hard to slap AT guns down.
You know, I am surprised that the Shermans are being as competitive as they are against the T-34s. I know I definitely rag on the T-34s quite a bit, but against the Sherman, they should be wiping the floor with them. Okay.
The T-34-76 is like the 1943 models are kind of worse off due to worse armor, but the 42 model, it's like a fair fight between that and the Sherman.
Well, this is the 43 model.
Yeah, which has only like 75 armor.
Yeah. I guess for me, I was falling back into my historical stuff again as opposed to, the game. That's my own silly fault. Anyway, down to the south, we are going to see the Germans are getting together. A bit of an airstats push. Not going to go very well, but my assumption is they're aiming for the M42 and the stroke EDP on the southern flank.
Mm-hmm. It's really not much here from both sides, really. It's a pretty quiet. So this troop and push could actually make quite a bit of headway and capture a flag or two. Especially the flags in, like, the center part. Like, I'm trying to think, like, along the road where the little, like, villages. That's a great defensive position once you can capture it, because you got the hilltop covering you from behind, and then you got the town where you can just slap infantry in.
Indeed, you can. And what's more, yeah, there's a couple of AT guns here and there, but that's not well. That's much more just like a scratch defense more than anything else.
Yeah, and there's no infantry backing up its two AT guns. It's kind of a little bit silly, not having any, machine gun fire support nearby.
Also worth noting to the north, the captured M4s have been severely decayed in the combat effectiveness. Let's call it gently what it is. But regardless, they are definitely pushing back the Soviets, which is kind of surprising.
Yeah, I mean, we've got an A-phase Sis-2 being brought out. It's not something you see all that often, as usually you don't get many Sis-2s for the most part, and yeah, it's more of like a B-phase unit that you get out, so definitely a risky call bringing it out this early, but it seemed to work as it's dealing with the Shermans, or helping deal with Shermans.
Yeah, helping to deal with the Shermans, but I feel like also at the same time we still have a Pac 40 hugging that, no, excuse me, Pac 38, wow, hugging that northern approach. And actually we're seeing a P4 being brought on in, we're seeing another Pac 38 being brought on in, so yes, this is going to go red for a little bit, but I think the Germans are definitely pushing that back for too much longer.
Oh. Well, I've seen some Panzer IVs now from Solo Ring. I think he's starting to deplete his Sherman reserve. I believe he only get like 5 Shermans, roughly 4 to 5 Shermans in A phase, and like in only 1 card. So he's going to rely more on the German armor at this point. I mean, our Pac 38 has just been an absolute
machine
so far.
Yeah.
Like, it's so crazy seeing AT guns work so well, just out in the open, completely exposed. I mean, neither side is using artillery, so they can get away with it, but he does finally go down.
Yeah, but not before claiming a good, hefty amount of at least damage, if not outright kills. Now, it is weird to me to see Airsat's trooping actually holding ground. But of course, as I say that, we get the BA-10s coming in, we get more T-34s, we actually have sniper teams. And actually, I kind of like this pairing, the BA-10s with the T-34-76s. The BA-10s are not really a great weapon system, but pair them with at least the main gun of a tank, you handle a lot more of the recon issues that you tend to run into with early vehicles.
Yeah, it's just nice for like a cheap recon platform. I mean, it can provide decent anti-infantry support. It has like 2 machine guns and, some HE shells. It's not great, not better than a T-34 by any stretch, but Just the extra eyes and the extra firepower. You can't really go wrong for the price. And it's a
Ooh, Northern
car.
Tank gets forced into a surrender in the north, and the
Oh.
Soviets in the north, as long as the Germans don't go too far outside of this collection of trees, that's going to be difficult to push back.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, as that's happening, the Soviets are making a push along the center line, looking to take that town. And with PPSHs and the Stroke DP sitting in support, they should be able to do it.
Yeah, this is going pretty funny how the Germans are running the northern side of this town and the Russians are running the southern. I do want to take a note. If we look at the center part of the map, yeah, Central Puss has worked rather well for soloing.
Oh, he still has three air such troop and even kind of schlepping it slowly down
Hmm.
towards the M42 and that Stroke DP that's right there.
Yeah.
You got to be careful though too. Those M4s are not that great against the PTRD.
Oh.
Watch, there'll be a lot of crits coming up pretty damn soon, I'm sure.
Yeah. 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 Yeah, it's just kind of a slow push in the open of the SS troop and slowly moving up. And that's definitely going to give AmberT time to reinforce the position. And so I was also getting some 233 recon vehicles to help out. And a bunch of infantry to defend that central town. Bunch of infantry. What a strokey DP. That's going to be a pain in the ass.
Yep. Yep. Worse yet for him, that collection of buildings is so close into that hillside, the only way you're going to dislodge him easily is if you have some indirect fire. Something that we've seen precious little of.
Yeah,
Look,
really everything's just happening up north in this town. Got a bunch of Avtamachikis coming in at half tracks. Trying to secure this northern forest again.
and they might be able to do that, but once again, he still has paid a hefty price to even get this far with it.
Mm-hmm.
And there still are Pack 38s in the area, there's still a Pack 40, excuse me, a P4 rather, wow. And the M4, yeah, he's got a stuck turret, but he can still point and shoot.
Yeah, Narayan to B phase, and I'm really interested to see if Solo does actually have a King Tiger in his deck. Because this would be it's a very good map and a very good division to bring a King Tiger against, as AmberT doesn't have anything that can directly penetrate a King Tiger. I mean, heck, even Side Shots is going to be a pain in the ass for most of his units, apart from, like, the Zis 2 guns that he has.
It is worth noting the M42 did stop that push to the south, taking out the P4 that came forward. And I don't think... Oh, yeah, they also took out... Wow, that 233.
Hmm.
Airsats, of course, falling into retreat. And
So that's maneuver.
we're actually seeing a final shift over here into Pigrens. At least it looks initially here.
The Panzer Grenadiers or some Panzerfaust definitely going to help out, especially against all these armored units being brought in the far northern side. Yeah, it's just... I do like use of snipers, definitely going to help out in the fire support role. But it's just really just looking at it. What both the sides could really use is just a little bit of artillery. You can never go wrong with artillery.
It is certainly the king for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to be brave enough to go for it.
Yeah. But still, this is like been pretty back and forth. I mean, it's still a trove, and the points have barely moved. Though Solo has managed to nick himself a flag, and now he is taking the lead.
That's not going to last very long, though. This machine gun, I'm sure, is almost going to get taken out in that northern town. P4 is not close enough to make any support. The air slash trooping not close enough for any support as well. I mean, I'm actually surprised that this entire town has not become Soviet in the first place.
Yeah, he's just barely holding on to it. Just barely. It's just thrown enough SS trooping in there. A bunch of other things, these Panzer Grenadiers and these 222s now.
It's just that it's oddly amusing to me to watch a P4 and the 233s, who has just died, of course, engage these anti-tank guns with any kind of effectiveness.
Yeah. Yeah, his anti-tank, I mean, they're out in the open, so they do die quicker, much quicker compared to being in a forest. But it's still not a good idea to attack him head-on with tanks.
It so rarely is.
Yeah. This is, like I said, artillery would really help out in this scenario. Yeah, AmberT really playing heavy on machine guns. Actually, both sides. Even Solo Ring getting some MG42 teams. Just very interesting to see. Is like I said, most people are playing infantry support guns when they can.
For good reason.
Yeah.
The P grants being split up. Actually, no, never mind. They're both reinforced in the center. Taking very, very different routes to get there, though. We are going to see some Furies being brought along the southern approach. Is this, do you think, just going to be trying to push it back across the 50-yard line, or is it just kind of holding the territory?
Probably just try to hold the territory. It'd be kind of silly to move them up out in the open, especially with that machine gun team. Yeah. Oh, we see the King Tiger.
Oh, one of those being brought on in me. Yes, it is. Ooh, baby.
Yeah, that is. Yeah. Good luck killing it, AmberT. I'd actually be very surprised if that thing does die. Because, like I said, just armorize everything.
I'm calling a crit to death.
No, I think that's safe. That's a safe assumption. If it's gonna die, it's gonna be from 1,000 cuts.
Exactly. Now, there was a combat officer. Okay, there it is. Okay. I was checking back in to make sure we still have the, officers on the actual field. And we still do, at least from the Soviet side. I feel recently like we haven't seen that much in terms of German command and control. Am I wrong about that? Like a lot of divisions, a lot of the replays you and I have definitely done, I have not seen that many officers being brought on in.
Yeah. I just think it's really a lot of people play. I find like not a lot of people, even from how I play, I don't find veterancy to be important for the most part. I'd rather buy units that just kind of kill rather than units that lead, which is a flaw because having leaders and setting them up properly can be a huge boon, but it's just kind of a pain in the ass. And I really like how these 222s are being played. This is some sneaky play. Oh, that is sneaky.
It certainly can be, but the 222s are going to buy it pretty darn quickly.
He's microed it behind the building, waiting for the T-34s to come round. Yeah, it's really good micro, yeah. You know, he's going to get a side shot? Oh, no, T-34 is pretty accurate. But the other one, no, he is just...
Yeah, he is deep behind enemy lines.
This is like the one cool benefit of recon units. Don't affect the front line.
Yeah, but think about it. He's not going to be able to do a whole lot. What if he tries to slide around right now towards the bridge? Like, big stinking deal.
Or if he can kill like a few transport vehicles or an AT gun, that's more than enough. Not going to run the flank, but you can at least hook some holes.
Well, it's a P3 coming in. And good at long last, we actually are going to see some air power coming from the German side as well. Good.
Yeah, Focke-Wulf is pretty much going to get the P3. D, come on, you can do it. Yeah.
Alright.
A huge bunch of T-34s up north. It's just going to be a pain in the ass to deal with.
Well, it's one of the few times I feel like it doesn't matter how good your bombing runs might actually be. I'd bring bombers in after anything up there. Whether it's the infantry, the tanks, I don't care.
Bomb it all.
Exactly. Let God sort it out. Pack, in the meantime, there's a pack track actually shelling the T-34s from extreme distance. He's doing a pretty good job. Crits galore.
That's a tight angle as well.
Here's a part of... I'm trying to wonder here for a second. Ooh, there's going to be an M42 coming along that road. Never mind, T-22 is not in the right angle for it. Would have been incredible if he had slid up about, ooh, I don't know, couple hundred meters, been able to
Mm.
see that road. Alas, that is not to be.
That King Tigers is coming through the middle, and that's just going to be a goddamn sledgehammer. I mean, especially if he can get into... Yeah, if he can just move his race center and hold the hill, he can, like, shut down the northern flank resupply line.
And and I look away for 1 second, and now I look back, there's actually 3 new torches where there used to be T-34s.
Oh, yeah. Like, lighting up like a Christmas tree.
Yeah, just in time for the holidays. Light a candle or two.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Soviets roasting over an open fire. I mean, it's a beautiful thing. It's the little things you treasure.
Sounds like a perfect Stalingrad Christmas.
It certainly is. We are at long last going to see some support cars being brought on, and here comes the 222. Oh my gosh.
Oh!
That
Perfect.
is too amusing. My friend, this is a bridge too far for you, though.
Oh, come on, shoot. I wonder if he has line of sight on the infantry support guns, so he should probably try and kill them.
Too late.
Too late. But still, he what's a bit of damage? Slow down his infantry support guns from getting to the front line. How you do it?
It certainly is. And with that, actually, does the King Tiger? Okay, no, he's just kind of chilling. I'm surprised this Opal Blitz in the north has not come back around and picked up those other 2 broken down P4s. I'd really like to see them getting repaired.
Oh yeah. They're not not going anywhere.
Not quickly, anyway.
No. Yeah, AmberT, he's still holding pretty well, but especially in like the south of the river, he doesn't really have much here anymore. The infantry is starting to go down, and Solar Ring is bringing out the pioneers to capture the point.
Now, the other T-34s in the meantime are falling back. I don't know if this is just a moment for them to just get repaired and resupplied or what the deal is, but regardless, worthwhile.
Mm-hmm. It definitely feels like we're heading into sea phase now. Solar Ring really does have the momentum going for him. He's got a bunch of 233s being brought in, some anti-air, some infantry. It's exactly the sort of stuff you'd want when commencing a push.
Well, and what's more, we are actually seeing... Wait, the Opal Blitz got captured. Oh my gosh, that was dumb. But we are seeing the infantry itself for the Soviets has been completely and totally creamed.
Yeah, it's just kind of been going down one by one. Could use the fire support from the Germans. And also, finally getting like pioneers and good infantry out.
Well, I think this big tank column coming in is probably... I'm not gonna say it's the last chance for the Soviets, but it ain't good if you're already bringing in an entire tank platoon and hoping that's going to save you.
Yeah, he really needs a little bit more infantry in this town fight at the moment, more than anything. But T-34s can deal with a lot of the scary German armor, at least, which he also really needs dead.
Wait,
What are the Germans captured?
Watch this King Tiger start to shell from a huge distance. Here we go.
Germans captured the supply track back from the 222. Oh.
Meanwhile,
Okay.
the Koenigstigger from about 2 kilometers, one shot, one tank, fires again, takes out the other one.
Yeah, he's in a position now where he can shut down the town. Or getting close to.
And right now, the only guys in the town, save for that literally sole Automachiki, are all officers. They can't fight.
Oh.
So I thought you said the infantry over here fight really should have gone to the Soviets. What happened here?
Didn't have enough, it seems. Did not have enough. I mean, yeah, it's like a lot of Avtomachikis, and he's got a lot of more specialized troops, like the close CQC guys, which are good, but they're not that great because it's really hard to get within 100 meters if I go Thermovikis and SMG dudes. Just because it's a pain in the ass to micro it. It's much better to spam like lots of strokey DPs and snapperies.
Cluster bomber.
Oh.
Oh man, and you know what? The T-34s, they've got to know that they're. Oh yeah, they're spreading like crazy. In the meantime, though, that's one. That's fine. You might lose it, but you know what? We saw a cluster bomber, and I'm already excited.
Mm-hmm. It's a cluster bomber you don't see all too often, so
No.
happy. It has such a cool spread pattern.
Oh, it's so
Nice
orderly.
rectangle.
It's so German.
Yeah. It's not like the Rust and Run where it's just like a blob of just like randomly generated like circle of death that sometimes hits stuff and most of the time doesn't. It's like, hey, we're setting up a line of clusters. You're probably gonna die.
There's a lot of chance. There's a 50% chance you might die. However, there's
Hmm.
70% chance you probably
Ooh,
won't.
a good P3 rocket run on the Shaman, yeah.
Yeah, but
Scrapes it.
not for nothing, but the guy tanked a couple of runs, no pun intended.
Mm-hmm.
And now there's a big wet wipe being taken out of the center of the Soviet position, and actually way down south, something we've completely neglected just because of how slow it's been. There's a second King Tiger.
Oh yeah, that King Tiger is just gonna be
There's a
king of the
third
south.
King Tiger on the map.
Oh god. Yeah.
And who cares if these peak runs are pinned down and slowed down? Superiors, you're not going to be able to repel firepower of that magnitude.
Mm-hmm.
As my good friend Admiral Snackbar used to say. But officer, in the meantime, back to the north, he's getting pinched out and killed. And I dare say we're going to see that happen again to the combat officer as well.
Mm-hmm. I really think like a big issue here from AmberT is where I was that you really neglected the center side a bit, because the Germans had like a one flag advantage on the center for a good chunk of the game, and it's definitely been helping out.
True. Very, very true. It's been a rather meager set of Soviet defenses, to put it mildly.
Mm-hmm.
And at long last, we have one lone Strokey TP cut off, alone, scared, missing his mother. And I
Don't leave
think,
the forest.
yes, and it's a good plan. Good plan. We are seeing a big insertion over here for squads of Tanko Desantniki, as well as 3 Zis guns. I want to believe, I desperately do. Pack Track's going to shut down this biggest part here.
Oof, got to run. This two jumps out in time and returns fire.
But even if you kill that Pack Track, I mean, that's great. But there's other things you can be more concerned about.
Yes.
Like the King Tiger that just took out the lead vehicle in that infantry column.
Yeah, so now, like, those Is-2s can't really do anything against King Tiger. And a map like this, it's pretty hard if you're not an idiot to make sure your King Tiger doesn't get flanked. But you know
Wait
what
a second.
can deal with a King Tiger?
Yeah, Zis-2s can kill.
Barely. It's very... It's very tight with the APCR.
That might be the case, and actually worse yet for him, he's firing at the 233s.
Mm-hmm.
He's effective against the 233s, don't get me wrong. Wait, for a wall to the south? They were going after the King Tiger, definitely freaked him out a bit, with the Yak-9T in there as well. Focke-Wulf probably is going to bite the farm.
Mm-hmm. Good use of, like, trying to use air power to deal with the King Tiger. Because you really want to use air power and artillery to knock them out. That's the best bet. The SD-44, eh?
Mm-hmm. Looking back to the south, wow, there's the SDKFZ 259. Yeah. Infantry is not getting through there, and something just killed. That wasn't the Königstiger. Something just killed that T-34.
Hmm. Must have been the 259?
No. It's Pack-38 to the north, maybe? Pack-38 to the north, and then
Okay.
hillside.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Well, another gun run going after probably the Gepard, and the Gepard is bravely standing his ground and dies a brave man.
Yeah, AmberT, now he's starting to bring infantry, but once again, it's a lot of tank deaths on each key. And it's really tough to use those SMG troops effectively.
Yep, not over open ground anyway.
Especially against like pioneers or flamethrowers, because in the hierarchy of 100-meter weaponry, they're definitely below flamethrowers and satchel charges.
And lest we forget, we actually are going to see several more 259s being brought on in. Oh wait, bouncing PRTs to the north on the Königstiga. That Stoky DP that's been sitting behind enemy lines for so long.
He's trying
finally
to.
coming out of the forest.
He just gets shredded by the Panzergrenz.
Very true. I was going to make the call out that down south, yeah, the Soviets had massed a little bit, but now we have 2 P4s, 1 Gepard, 2 squads of infantry, and 259s that are just going to completely and totally wreck face.
Beautify support.
Indeed. But with that in mind, I mean, very surprised this game developed the way that it did. I had expected a much more robust assault, let's say.
Yeah, especially up north in the Soviet infantry and T-34 spam it can do. I felt like that was AmberT's game to win in terms of the town fight. I'm not surprised about what happened down south and in the middle, just due to the fact King Tiger wins out just flat out. But yeah, I just really think it's just down to the infantry choice of just using mainly SMG troops.
I'd like to point out the fact that this was not the fact that airsats won, but more of I think the Soviets just kind of lost.
Yeah. And also, artillery would have been a good idea. Same from both sides.
True.
Artillery would have very much helped out.
True.
But you have a lot of these airplanes coming in. Been bringing out the P3s like crazy, so it's kind of making up for the artillery in some sense. But is it going to be enough to kill King Tiger? No.
No, their pelts are made of sterner things. However, the converse, a Faust is more than enough to kill a T-34, and with that, AmberT says, screw it, dude.
Oh. It's going to be a GG, and damn! Like, that's like a 1,300 difference.
Yes, it is. M42, standout 3 vehicles right there. Other than that, I don't expect to see too much over here from the Soviet side.
At the end, it's just, I only killed like some half tracks, so not really a trial.
MG42 kills 6 or 7 squads of foot troops.
And Decker, the Sherman, knocked out quite a bit.
P4 he's a ground ace, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's a ground ace.
Jeez.
Sorry,
Damn.
4, but yeah, close enough.
222 knocked out a bunch of stuff. Yeah, those 222s are pretty decent. The King Tigers as well. Yeah, it's hefty kill list, Jeff, from the Germans.
Yes, indeed. But that's what happens when, unfortunately, you bring, an SMG to a MG42 fight. That being said, AmberT, chin up, my friend. It was still a very amusing play to kind of watch. Solo wing, way to kind of keep your head, especially early on. Not often that we see a Jeep opening that doesn't go well.
Yeah. Yeah, it just... I mean, it was really good. Like, the Pack 38 just down the road was fantastic. It just slowed down AmberT by quite a bit.
True. That was a very, very solid play. Any last thoughts, sir?
I actually have something to say that's meaningful. So the Steel Division League is coming to the end by now. So, if you got a replay, send it to either me or Khan over Discord or whatever channel that you can try and contact us. Just not over the mail, that'd be weird. But yeah, if you got a replay, let us know.
Indeed, so folks, hit us up, and I guess we'll definitely speak to you soon. Until next time, though, I'm Con Ulrich.
I'm Rangru, take it easy.